Match fixing has been a huge problem in gaming for years and years, but especially for Valorant. Recently, the entire North American Tier 2 scene has been exposed to have an underground illegal gambling ring filled with throwing matches, fixing rank games, and so many more shady activities generating hundreds of thousands of dollars for those who participated. I'll be covering some of those games, so you don't miss it. And now XOG, China's #1 ranked team competing in Toronto, announced that their flex player has been suspended due to previous cheating and match fixing in Counter-Strike, but also in Valorant. But what does match fixing look like? Is it obvious? What should we look for? Well, let me show you. So this past week, I've been lucky enough to be at Toronto to try the new map and skin line in early access, both of which are some of my favorites. And with buff.game, you can use all that time you're spending to learn Corrode to earn the new bundle. Buff is an authorized overworld app with over 16 million users that allows you to play your favorite games and earn buff points to purchase Riot access codes, Steam credit, V-Bucks, and a ton more. Just by playing and having the app run in the background. Like me and my editor are passively earning skins while filming these videos. And they're easy to redeem. It just takes a few clicks. That's how my collection went from this to this. Buff is also safe to use with zero resource hogging, no mining, and I've trusted them for over a year now and haven't had any issues. Now, do you want free skins? Well, if you comment #downloaded buff with your buff username, you'll get a chance at winning a $10 Riot access code. How much more free can it get? And if you use my link down in the description from June onward, you'll gain 100 bonus buff points. They normally only give out 30. So if you've ever wanted to support this channel or just get skins, but are broke, then check out Buff using my link down in the description. And now in case you don't know how match fixing works, let me explain. Some dude, probably with a lot of money, is like, "Hey, I bet against you. Can you purposely lose?" "What the? No, get away from me." "But I'll give you 10 grand. "Okay, I'm down." And that's how games like these happen. But doing this type of thing can land people in jail. And it has. You're doing so much damage. Think about it. You're stealing money from someone else who gambled, the gambling company. You're making your team look bad by putting a lost game on their record. And you're wasting the fans' time. But on the other hand, I kinda get it. Riot doesn't do a whole lot for the Tier 2 scene, or creators really, but that doesn't mean you go commit a crime. Get a job! Oh well, let's see what this looks like in real time. The year is 2021, and Icebox is somehow worse than it is today. Now, I don't have access to the map back then, so expect today's footage to contain some inaccuracies. Just use your imagination. But this is the group stage of the Imba TV Fearless Invitational Cup, and I'm pretty sure Totoro were the #1 ranked team for this thing, especially because they ended up never dropping a match. Plus, add the fact that most of them went on to play Tier 2 and Tier 1 Chinese Valorant, they were the perfect players to manipulate the outcome of this game. The bet was that SXG had to win map 1, and that was it. And if you look at VLR, it's Icebox. No, not like you guys, but the player, posted an abysmal 419 KD, but then went nuclear for the next map. So we haven't even looked at the match, but judging by the box scores, something already doesn't seem right. On Pissed Around, Totoro's game plan is to default across the map in a 2-1-2 and make a final decision later in the round. The Wings create pressure and gather info as they're grouped up, and Viper creates timings with her smoke, but a bit more passively since she's by herself. And her ability to deny sightlines is really valuable. Makes sense. And it'll probably end B. The defense are set up to retake this site, fight A, and Totoro running a Sage, so planting here is her specialty. Syl makes the first move by lobbing his poison there's a fat-ass gap in it. Normally, this smoke is good for creating timings into or under tube or through boiler to A, but not when you throw it like this. You are a pro, right? Shouldn't you have a lineup? Okay, well, his teammates take B by jump spotting, Reyna moves up, and the ult orb is hers. Wait, why Reyna? Her ult sucks. But they're exchanging shots in mid! Viper, what are you doing? She's now half HP, which is fine, just go back to your Sage for a heat. Wait, you're going for more?
整体的防线还是比较靠后的。
是的。
也可以少华这块也是直接把对面赶上去了。
What is wrong with you? Okay, yeah, I guess that is the title of the video. I also forgot to mention that Yu wasn't the only player who was banned, but the entire team was. And this stupid aggressive lurk and poorly placed orb are two immediate huge red flags. But Teets, this is 2021! 4 years ago! Maybe they're just newbies. Jimmy, no. These guys are backed by years and years of Counter-Strike experience. You don't just do this in CS. Well, now the offense's plan is to double back to B with Sage's wall still active. Reyna knows Viper is stuck yellow and tries taking pot shots, and then groups to hold with Sova, expecting a jump spot. But Viper's tucking and calling over to Sova to help her out. As he arrives, the poison orb falls, and the attackers want to move out before she can put it up again.
第二个已经拉到了近点，
但是已经在他脸上了，看到了。
先是个小侧身，然后呢，雷娜直接大脚步往前趟，躲开了第一剑。可是我们看到往前拼的同时，黄香这块 Yuki 也是绕过来偷掉了 绕了一个背身，而且3连发之后呢，泡泡也是补上了这一枪。看一下位置锁定，再秒掉泡泡，这边拼的怎么说？S 叉 G。
Well, I've never seen a pro Reyna move or shoot like this, and Sage missed everything on Raze? Strange. Now, when you're throwing a match, it is crucial that you lose pistol round. If won, your odds of winning the game go up significantly as your opponent is forced to save the next round. And if you manage your economy correctly and don't int while farming ecos, you have a solid chance at winning the first full buy as well. With that in mind, all of a sudden those whiffs last round weren't all that strange. But on their save, Totoro weren't even hiding the fact that they're throwing. Like, why are we just walking around in mid and our Jets riding the zipline dry into Cypher? And they also bought Sheriffs, which is going to weaken their first full buy. There wasn't even an attempt at winning. Especially on offense, where you can group up and overwhelm a solo defender, maybe take their gun, and do more damage? This is blatant. Whatever, surely they don't lose their first full buy, right? With all 5 players grouped up outside of Garage, it looks like they want to go B. The gates drop, they almost forget the spike, can't make it that obvious. And now they've picked the perfect time to go B, as the defense are fighting mid in a 1-3-1. And all Viper has is a Spectre. But she immediately halts the offense with her Poison Orb and Snakebite. Viper used to be so broken. Her smokes would last forever, and she had 2 mollies. Regardless, the offense know Viper is stuck behind this big rectangle and are trying everything to get her out. Shock Dart once, twice, but then Viper drops her orb so that her Sova can scout with his drone. He started from here? He also used to be busted. And now the attackers have used this timing to push, but Uki wins the Spectre versus Vandal fight? And does this much damage to Reyna while taking none himself? Strange. He still somehow has enough fuel and gets out before he can get trapped by the slow. But still has found a timing on A. He heard Jet monkeying around an A site and saw him fall. But did Jet spot him? Even if Sin Baby knows he only has a Marshal, surely Viper wins this, right?
这里推的声音也被听到喽。
是的，这边还在架。
I guess you can't make it too obvious, but a decent mid-round call happens next. Come here, I found a timing! But what if we didn't? Because of this lurk, the defense had the knee-jerk reaction to rotate, and this Poison Orb would create more question marks for the defense to bite on. But Totoro knew this would be the reaction. So Yu's calling his team back, but Cypher's just recleared A from Rafter. He's telling his team to hold their ground on B. At the same time, the offense and defense are grouping up, and Yu blasted Art, confirming the defender's suspicions. But isn't this what Totoro want? Anywho, they raise their toxic screen, Pow Pow almost kills Yu, and the offense go in for the plant.
的确是靠不过。哎，不过机会现在来了一个毒枪封上之后，泡泡也是压到了近点。我们看到 U 也进行一个侦查，扫出来了。后面的神圣
强行把包下来，但是人也没了。
对，人也交代了，不过这里又是个人员。
Okay, Sage sticking the plant here isn't her throwing. That's just why Icebox is horrible and still is to this day. There's barely any room to plant without dying. Sage herself has always been meta because she makes planting on this site doable. But before, this spammable box meant that no one could plant here except for her. The defense did great to combo their Snakebite and Pain Shells to blow up the human sacrifice, and solid trades from both teams have made this a 2 versus 2. But Viper? Why aren't you fighting with anyone? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, well, all eyes are on you, Viper. You can't make this too obvious.
剩一个2打2 ，Viper 血量不
2打2
多。
的一个残局，1打2。
我们刚说 Viper 血量不多的同时，对方现在也在进行一个假拆，跳过去，
这是真
根本管了，真拆摁到底，
要硬拆了，没办法。
In case you didn't know, Viper Molly didn't take you down completely from full HP since she had 2 of them. And I guess Syl didn't know that either. And I'm sure everyone on your team forgot to tell you that they didn't touch Cypher. Whoops, silly Viper. Totoro tossed their first full buy, and now they have to half buy. With such horrible weapons, you'd expect them to lose this one too, right? Well, not necessarily. See, if you want a match fix, you can't make it obvious. Remember, Totoro are the favorites in this tournament, and most of these players went on to play Tier 1 and Tier 2. Rolling over and dying all the time would be too suspicious. And they are the better team. This round proves it. Because they only have one Vandal, Totoro's plan is to stay grouped on A and recycle the rifle, plus that's just how Icebox is played, while the defense are still focused on their mid and trust in Cypher to anchor A in their 1-3-1. And against these weak loadouts, he should be fine. The round starts with you ripping a recon for close and Viper blooming her poison orb. It still has a fat ass gap in it. Two of them. Jet's peeking through under tube. Listen, if Viper doesn't know the lineup, that's fine. But if it's this bad, then just stop throwing it. The defense only need one person to watch all 3 lanes. Unless he knows it's not the right lineup, which is probably the case. Whatever. The offense had moved up the pipes, Viper lays out her wall, you activate his Aldrone, Reina pops her Empress, and Cypher braces for impact.
打一波，
看到推进的速度很快啊 ，Flexing 被打的剩30滴血，直接往后一缩，
能穿，
直接也穿死了。我们看到Totoro的 Midnight 还在继续往前压进，哦呦，给到压力直接拉满，再偷一个侧身，漂亮一波秒掉了
这一
C
把
Baby，
间谍，
拉回来。
Okay, now this does not look like throwing. It's an even 2-on-2 thanks to some sick playmaking from Reina, and for the first time this game, the defense are on the back foot. Pow Pow's ripping shot throws from spawn, trying to buy time for his Viper, but they're cooked. He and you exchange fire, but then you fires a shot at him, forcing him into Reina's crosshair? What is this teamwork? It's beautiful!
要小心啊，也是再次被 Midnight 找到。可是我们看到 Yuki 直接拉过来，两个人锁定彼此的位置，就看最后这个枪法的正面对决了。看一下 Yuki 怎么说，没对过 Midnight 这回合。
I told you guys, for the time, Totoro were a good team. SXG were forced onto an eco, and it lasted 15 seconds because of some disgusting shots. But now, the match fixers are 1 round away from tying. Is that what they want to do? It initially looks like Reina is lurking, but the offense are defaulting again in a 2-1-2, while the defense have invested into an op for the first time this game. If Totoro want, they could make it look like the op is just broken, like every other Iron player says. The barriers drop, and Jet wastes no time dry swinging a main, and the op barely misses. In the meantime, Viper's then pressuring mid with a decent mid orb. I guess she remembered the lineup. And these two have taken B main, but not without getting stalled by Viper's first snakebite. Viper and Reina exchange blows, but the earlier has to back off in order to dodge the Sova drone. Now, it's been about 15-ish seconds, but the offense already have a lot of info. The op is on A, Viper's B. Okay, so what's their plan? Well, Totoro hang around for just a second, Sova blows his recon, but Jet dry swings the op again?
也没想退，还是想要找机
又
会。
空了一局两局，
视野被挡，视野被阻断的同时，我们看到他们现在就是等。
Okay, well, Jet realizes that the spectator camera is on her or something and doesn't want to get caught trolling, so she dropped back to take a breather. In the meantime, the offense group up, Viper mollies to the Totoro peak, Sage slows, and Viper mollies again. These aren't going to shake the op's crosshair. Okay, that might.
现在有点
这边
难受。
还想出
呦，
来，
再来一次 ，C Baby 根本拉不出去。而且当他想拉的时候，我们看到这个时候 Totoro 已经扑进了包点。
哦，这边直接把它撕掉，大局。
Dude, Jet is asking to get opt in the face. Just hit a shot. They're throwing. Pow Pow is trying to answer back with his Harness Fury, but can't find anything. But as the defense are rotating over, Totoro starts to remember. They're being paid to lose. So, watch this. Midnight hears the defense, swings solo. The defense fire the recon. Still swings solo. Yu gets jealous or something. Swings solo, leaving Heibei by himself. Perfect throw job. Again, we don't want to make things too obvious, so on the next round, Heibei found the first blood with some cool jet tech. This duelist used to have 2 updrafts, which would make for some crazy fights. I told you guys, they aren't stupid, even though they seem like it some rounds. But that put Totoro back in a potential tying position, and all the defense have are pistols. How can the offense toss this one? Well, Jet's Bladestorm. But unless they just run at her, I don't know how that's possible because the defense are scrambling. 0 trips or Viper utility haven't been laid out yet, but the attackers are defaulting mid in a 1-3-1. The round starts with a recon from Yu and Cage from Flexin to help the attackers push forward, I guess. The defense are a mess anyways. Viper's just put her wall down 6 seconds in, and Sinbaby's being tagged by this recon, but still activates his knives. Okay, so Totoro understand that XXG's only win condition, the only person who seems to know what they're doing this round, is on A. So what's their plan with that information? Well, Midnight ditches B main and rejoins his teammates in mid. Okay, well, Viper starts her solo push down 2 while her teammates break the trip and wait for someone to peek into them, but then Sil finds a trip of his own.
哎，看到了半仙，在思考能不能过得去，还是能不能直接拉？
想拉，想抓一个 timing。
就打掉半线，同时直接一个大。
Nice! 3 versus 5. All the offense have to do now is group up and they're splitting A? Why?
拉出去，这回合我们看到想了很久，想得很细，已经在脑海中模拟完全整个情景。那么看一下 Sinbaby 呢，这里一波关键的发挥。
There was a million different ways that Totoro win this round, but only one way that they lose, and it was running face first into these knives. Also, splitting A or B on Icebox is basically impossible to do because you have to trudge through 80 different possible crossfires. Now, a 2 versus 2 isn't the worst thing, I guess. Oh, wait, Viper still has all her smokes! God, watching a match fix game is tough. These two should group up and make a play. With the map so open, this situation kind of favors the attackers as they can be anywhere. But you also don't want to give up guns, whatever, who cares?
Totoro 最后两人刚刚其实位置是被锁定的，不，我们看一下枪法怎么。
Oh, Viper dies. Surely you, the guy who got banned for match fixing, cheating, talking bad about China, and ends up going 4-19, but positive in the next 2 maps, gives this 1 versus 2 everything he has, right?
的话，可我们看到两人是一上一下 ，Sinbaby 小身位不停的在勾。
下的。
That intentional clown fiesta forced Totoro to save, which is perfect for them, I guess, because that's another round that they can lose. But they didn't even hide it. Their plan was to send 3 up B and 2 A, but watch closely.
手撕了两人。
是的。
Didn't see it? Jet is swinging belt with a classic. The longest sightline in the game, Dry, with his stupid pistol. If you or anyone you know is doing this in your games, show them this video. They're throwing, tossing, match fixing, screwing the pooch, shitting the bed. That made for an instant 5 versus 3, and of course, Totoro just lost. Well, this next round might be the most blatant toss we'll see all video. It looks like their plan is to go B, while the defense are focused on mid and A, while Cypher holds out for as long as he can. But the offense wastes no time as Jet updraft dashes and the team ignores the defense's recon, while Viper lays out her toxic screen. SXG immediately recognize the situation they're in and start pivoting B. The offense are barreling down main, make it out towards yellow, but do the defense not care? How is Cypher going to stop the plan himself? He's not Killjoy.
会就看一下队友什么时候会意识到呢？他们现在还，SRG 这块还是比较茫然的，到底在哪？到底要不要打？
这边可能要进哦，这直接把它穿掉了，这就进行了一个。
I guess that's one way to do it, but now the defense are definitely here. Reina scoops up the spike, backs off, and with their smokes down, Totoro pivot from wanting to plant the spike to resing Viper. Don't get me wrong, Sage's wall is strong for planting B, but doing it without smokes to protect it is a death sentence.
到位，落位的情况下还能够尝试一下吗？还想要拉人起来，哦呦，拉起来直接又送了。这波对于 SRG 来讲
Totoro did nice to secure the res, the double peaks, plus the slow up for top sight to deny Jet from trading. But whoa, hold on. This is too much winning. Instead of just securing the plant, Jet swings danger on her own, Sage hops around bottom sight and then dies, and then Reina thinks, okay, maybe now I'll plant, but stops when he hears Jet go up. They don't want to give Sinbaby more 1v1s, otherwise they'll lose this once, 1 versus 4.
枪这边可斯瓦第一波对枪又要来了，打掉一个，还有吗？血线
过来了，要正面一个对拼，一圈来了，打一个侧身 ，Sinbaby 反应也很快，再往前一拉，再骗一次。
Oh wow, maybe they were trying. See, the point of last round is that it can be hard to tell when players are match fixing. Like, securing the res last round was great, but when you almost blow a 1 versus 4 lead, but then clutch it up at the end, it's hard to tell what's really going on. But then again, look closely. Reina was running around with her classic towards the end of that clutch while Jet was semi-full HP. And Reina didn't insta one-tap Sinbaby. Maybe Totoro didn't want to win, but XXG just suck ass so bad that it is a close game. And now this round, it should be easier to tell what's going on. The offense might want to split B in a 3-2. It's hard to tell. Either way, it's not a good strat. Too many angles. Plus, the defense are fighting mid and they're 1-2-2. Mid's usually only good for one thing, lurking. The round opens with the offense double swinging boiler.
来看一下中路线怎么说呢？架个头皮位正面来拼枪，刚就完事了。好了，被刷光了。
Peeking mid dry like this is again stupid. This part of the map is a natural high-low. Now, don't get me wrong, you can mid-split on this map once, maybe twice to catch the defense off guard, but not like this. But now that it's a 5 versus 3, this should be an easy win for XXG, right? The remaining attackers are slowly creeping up B main and are headed right for Cypher's setup. His spy cam spots the attackers, it gets broken, but hold on, what is this setup?
位置应该是走不掉了。 只能强行1换1。
哎，是不是要绕一圈呢？绕过去吗？先偷一个被子。
Oh my god, what was that? I think Cypher just banked on the offense not walking up the left part of yellow since their smokes inted in mid. But as a Sentinel main, you have to be wary of these timings, no matter how unlikely they might be. I don't even think CXY meant to kill him, but Cypher whiffed so bad that he had to put him down. In an attempt to help his teammate, Sova's ripping his Harness Fury through sight, gets a tag, but can't find a kill. Jet swings from Snowman, takes a hit, but Reyna's found a timing mid-sight. Sova's ripping shots from heaven, expecting a plant to come soon, but it isn't. So he shoots his recon to investigate, and finds Reyna. She needs to reposition, but doesn't have a lot of options. Mid-sight on B has so many places she can get backstep from, so she goes up?
就没了，变成个3打3。 问题是到底要不要打 B 区呢？估计现在自己都还有点 Yuki 这里是看到了 Midnight，
看到了，但是被秒掉了。
可你秒我队友，我就秒你队友，我双方又是一个人换人。
1打1，
穿一波穿射，可是呢，因为你在穿射的话，这个枪。
These were all just nice shots. Maybe Reyna should have tossed the leer before jumping out of nest, but Totoro are making it hard to tell whether or not that they're throwing in these rounds. Now, as long as Totoro keep it close, but make sure they lose, no one will know that they're match fixing, and they'll make a boatload of money. So that means rounds like this one have to happen. The offense are alt F4ing in mid, and they're 1-3-1, while the defense fight B in mid this time, trusting in Viper to lock things down in A with their ultimate. Honestly, there isn't much to break down. The round starts, the attackers swing mid dry, and Sova gets one, the offense run around a bit, and Jet goes above B main. The offense realize that they have their res, so Jet tries covering for Sage, and then this happens.
绝对优势嘛，那想要再拉一次，来，就是想要点泡泡再杀一个，漂亮。
再杀一个，3杀。
来，冲过来 ，Sim Baby 也是秒掉 Midnight。
It was a good try. Oh well. Remember what I said. Totoro doesn't need to lose every round, just the ones that are important. And pistol round is very important. Actually, did you know that if you're down 9-3, but win pistol on the second half, you instantly have a 33% better chance to win the game? Crazy, right? So it is really important that Totoro lose this one. Their plan is to fight A in a 1-1-3, and the offense have 4 players headed right at them.
来到手上的第一局，
来，
这边强行打，你们 CBB 是打掉了2个。
果然是一波疯狂前顶。可是呢，的确这个前顶也是撞上了 SRG 的大部队，直接被打掉了。
中路还在对枪。
Oh, wow. The entirety of Totoro all died in 20 seconds. Weird. Now, there's match fixing, then actually just sucking like the old Carmine Corp. Maybe they were tossing? Watch this video and find out for yourself.